What did you do?
Sir,
you dismissed the case.
Sir, can I please
Mr.
talk to you
Miyares,
about this case
when you
if you want to know about it so much?
Be quiet. When you dismiss a case, what happens to that defendant?
He walks free.
Walks free. A disgusting, perverted individual preying on children that you dismissed the case. As the father of 2 young girls, one of them's 5. That is as shameful as anything I have seen.
Talk to me
Quit defending the indefensible.
People in my
you clearly
community.
don't.
Absolutely
You dismissed
not.
the case, and it's shameful.
Sir,
you're a coward. You are a coward.
This hearing exploded after a congressman confronted a prosecutor over a shocking case involving a 4-year-old girl. The lawmaker accused the prosecutor of reducing serious charges against a suspect with a long criminal history, negotiating a plea deal that would have limited prison time, and ultimately allowing the case to collapse after a judge rejected the agreement. As the prosecutor tried to defend his decisions, he was repeatedly cut off. Then the confrontation reached a boiling point when the congressman accused him of failing to protect children and called him a coward live in front of Congress. What happened next turned the hearing into total chaos. Let's get into it.
Through what you will go through, and candidly, I would not be acting as civilly with some of the people you're seated with had I suffered what you've had to endure. So thank you for being here. Mr. Descano, you said that, quote, we prosecute Virginia cases. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And you painted a picture of being rigorous in your efforts to prosecute bad people, correct?
Yes, when we prosecute, of course, we take a look at every case.
Yep.
We are constrained by the evidence. We're constrained by the law. And I will tell you, Congressman, you know, I think what is happening here with the number of cases that we're talking about are that
I want to talk to you about one of those cases. I want to talk to you about one of those cases, sir. Mr. Hiram Rodriguez. Remember that case?
I do.
Leading up to the crime that I want to talk about, the defendant's criminal history included multiple charges and arrests for indecent liberties, exposing himself to a child less than 15 years of age, disorderly conduct, illegally entering a property to damage, burglary. He was even sentenced, albeit I would say too lightly, while he was on probation, while he was under court supervision in June 15th, 2023 at 4 o'clock in the morning, Fairfax County PD responded to a burglary in process. A mother and her 4-year-old daughter were asleep in the same room but in separate beds. The mother was awoken when her 4-year-old daughter was screaming in the next room. She went to investigate. The attacker dropped the 4-year-old and fled the scene. It was clear that the 4-year-old had been abducted from her bed. Her buttocks had been grabbed. Her torso had been bruised. The victim displayed immediate bruising. The mother did not see the attacker's face, but the 4-year-old said he was a, quote, big man. Law enforcement identified Mr. Rodriguez by 2 ways. Forensics recovered a finger and palm print from the window that he jarred open in this case and matched footprints outside the house where he was standing with a mud print inside the house. Eyewitness testimony later identified Rodriguez as having been loitering for days outside this apartment building. He had been seen using drugs in the neighborhood, and he had been pacing around this particular unit in the days leading up to the crime. Police secured 2 warrants. One, statutory burglary, specifically alleging that Rodriguez entered an occupied dwelling, seizing a 4-year-old with the intent to commit murder, rape, robbery, or arson. Maximum penalty is 20 years. Abduction of a 4-year-old with the intent to defile such a person was the second charge, with a maximum penalty of life. Once it was handed over to your office, inexplicably so, you immediately reduced the burglary offense to a misdemeanor, which capped the sentence at 12 months. You then reduced the abduction charge to an offense that was a lower degree and capped the sentence at 10 years. When you entered into a plea agreement, you tried to bind the court so they could not sentence this person to any term over 2 years. Is that not correct?
Sir, I'm so glad you brought this case up.
Is that not correct?
Well, because I would like to explain, sir.
It is correct, and the court rejected it.
Sir, I know the case file.
It was a judge that was appointed by Senator Warner. This is not a right-wing judge. This is a liberal judge. And you know why he rejected it?
Sir,
He saw
I
what you
would
should
love
have
to
seen.
talk about
He
the
cited
case.
overwhelming evidence.
So
that this
can we
person-
talk about the
that
evidence,
This person
sir?
was a
'Cause
threat.
I know it and you don't.
Quit talking.
And I would love to tell you about
This person was a
it.
threat. He yanked a 4-year-old girl out of her bed with the intent to harm her, and you wanted to give her a cap of 2 years.
Sir, this
And
is a
then when
great
the plea
example.
agreement was rejected, what did you do?
Sir, this is a
What
great
did
example.
you do?
This is a great example of a case.
You know, I've prosecuted.
Where-
I've prosecuted
And then
cases.
you understand
And when
cases
you're
that
evading
don't
like
have
that,
strong
you know what that's a
evidence
sign
then,
of? Guilt. What did you do?
Sir,
You dismissed the case.
Sir, can I please
Mr.
talk to you
Miyares,
about this case
when you
if you want to
dismiss,
know about it so
be
much?
quiet. When you dismiss a case, what happens to that defendant?
He walks free.
Walks free. A disgusting, perverted individual preying on children that you dismissed the case. As the father of 2 young girls, one of them's 5. That is
I have a
as
daughter too,
shameful
sir.
as anything I
Please
have
don't
seen.
talk to me
Quit
that I
defending
don't
the
care about
indefensible.
people in my
You clearly
community.
don't.
Absolutely
You dismissed
not.
the case, and it's shameful.
Sir,
you're a coward. You
I'm
are a coward.
You won't even let me talk to you about the case.
It's indefensible, sir.
Sure.
I yield back.
What made this exchange so explosive wasn't just the shouting. It was the allegation at the center of the case. The congressman accused Fairfax County Commonwealth's attorney Steve Descano of dramatically reducing charges against a suspect accused of abducting a 4-year-old girl from her bedroom. According to the congressman, investigators linked the suspect to the crime through physical evidence and witness testimony. He argued that prosecutors weakened the case, sought a plea deal that would have capped prison time, and then dismissed the prosecution after a judge rejected the agreement. Descano repeatedly tried to respond and explain the evidence and legal issues involved. But the hearing never slowed down long enough for that explanation to happen. Instead, the confrontation escalated into a broader argument over crime policy, prosecutorial discretion, and public safety. The most dramatic moment came when the congressman accused Descano of failing to protect children and called him a coward in front of the committee. By the end, the hearing was no longer just about one case. It became a national debate over whether prosecutors are making communities safer, or letting dangerous offenders slip through the cracks. That's why this moment exploded online. Like this video, subscribe for more explosive hearing breakdowns, and comment below. Was the congressman exposing a serious failure of justice, or was there more to the case than the hearing revealed?